Hello and welcome to another episode of whatever this is I'm calling this. I don't actually know. My first video is uploading as we speak. I'm watching it on my second monitor. Lardy fucking tar. Right, so what we do is create new, general, don't save, I'm just doing it again just because I can. These you don't need. So we have our massive work area. And what I'm going to teach you today is light emission to the best of my ability and the most basic emission you can get. So we are going to create a cylinder. Right, just a basic cylinder. You can right click it and shade smooth so it is quite smooth. No, that's the wrong button. Oh, that's definitely the wrong button. Ah, no, what am I doing? I dropped my spaghetti there. Right, so we're going to press S and Z and put it into position a bit more. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to select this, Shift D again, G and Z up halfway, and then S and Z down. Scale it down to about there, and then we're just going to press S, make it smaller, bring it up a bit. Actually, you know what? Front. Gonna make a big light. There we go. And then I'm going to select this again. Duplicate, bring it up here, maybe make that smaller, like this, bring it down, cover it up, so we've got a nice little series of cylinders here. So we're going to select our main one that we want to become a light. Yeah, this little thing here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Materials tab, select New, and then where it says, wrong one, where it says Surface, we are going to select Emission. Now, this is where things get fun. You can actually watch things. So I'm just going to up the viewport to this. And as you can see, it's already quite light. It's brighter than any other objects, and it's a fixed white. So you can either keep it white, you can go blue, pink, red, orange, yellow, green. So I'm going to do like a nice little yellow here. And then strength, pump that shit up. As you can see, it does nothing in this viewport. So like in our previous video, we're going to go to render here. We're going to select cycles. Where it says feature set, going to go to experimental and GPU. Depending on what tech you're running, that's the best option. So let's put it in full render mode. Right, so as you can see, it really doesn't take long to render because there's nothing going on, really. We're going to go back to our materials tab and then up that strength. So we can just keep going and going and going until it's so bright that your eyes hurt. So let's bring it down to a nice dimish light here. Right. Happy with that? I am. And I believe if we go to modifiers... No, it's not modifiers. Bear with me here. There was another option. For bloom and stuff. Motion blur? No, that's not it. Let me just go through the things here. Settings. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there was an option for bloom. Maybe I'm not doing this correct. I will follow that up in a different video. Perhaps. We'll see. We're doing another emission. But yeah, anyway, we're going to keep this basic, so it really doesn't matter. So let's make this better, shall we? Let's give this some texture, so we can go to New. And then I've got loads of silly windows open, so base color, image texture. It's now purple, different than in the previous video. Again, if you go through your different viewports, it's going to look like this, whereas in rendered mode, it's going to render stuff, so you need to be ready for this. Right, so we're going to click open. Go to where all our textures are saved and everything nice. So I don't believe I've got a very good texture for this. Rusty metal. Rusty spoons. Let's go with corrugated iron. Select the PNG. That looks pretty good. It looks like a lightsaber hilt. So let's click the top piece here and then go to 3 because I didn't name it properly. There we go. If you want to name it, I don't know, let's see iron 1. There we go. Then what you can do here is, let's go into the other menu here. Oh, it looks strange. It looks like a piece of rock. Let's go to shading. Then here what we're going to do is we're going to add texture environment. No, we're not. That's the wrong one. We are going to add mapping. That's it. And texture coordinate. And what we're going to do here is we're going to swap these around because I've done it wrong. We're going to connect vector to vector. And then we're going to connect UV to vector. And what this allows us to do is we can play with the scale. So we can make it smaller, or we can make it bigger. So you can go ahead and mess with the sizing, the sharpness, that does nothing. Rotation, just mess around until you start noticing a small difference. You can twist it. Look at that. That looks pretty sick. Right. Now, when we click this one, it will do the same because it's the same texture. So if we go to materials, see, it's the same. Whereas if we wanted to change that, we'd click the X here. And then, I don't know, let's do a fixed color. Black. And then we can edit the metallicness and then the roughness. Obviously, roughness down to 0 makes it very, very shiny. Actually looks a lot better, actually. Let's take that off. Select a new colour. Look at that. That looks really nice. So yeah, what we can do is we can create a cube. Make it big, and then make it small. And then adjust the height. Let's select the whole thing. Select the height. And now, if you're well and truly done with this item here, we'll select what's within the item and what we want. So if we select the ground as well, that's not good. Because if we want to move it anywhere, it's stuck. So let's select that. We're not going to press A because, again, it will select everything, even the platform. So we're going to press Ctrl J, which joins it. So now, when I click it, anywhere, it's all one object, so I can move it willy-nilly. And what we can do here now is we can go back into layout mode. Make sure I have viewport selected, yes. And we're going to Shift A and grab a light. What we're going to do is we're going to do area light. Bring it up a bit and put it where the light is, here. I'm pretty certain that's how that works. And then we're going to try and match the same sort of colour. Now you can see it has power output here. So let's go in rendered mode. Look at that! It's emitting from the floor. So let's up the wattage a bit. And then you can change the shape, like disc, so it can go further out, or in the thing here, really, it's quite self-explanatory, really. Size, you can make the light go further out, widen the whole area. So let's sit and let that sampleize for a bit. Let's let it render. So you've got a very pleasant reflection on the surface here. So let's wait a few moments for that to render. There we go. How pleasant does that look? And obviously, you can hide things like this by pressing H on the keyboard. Even better. So we don't need that anymore, so we're going to keep that hidden, or you can click here where the closed eyelid is and open it up again, the all-seeing eye. Let's hide that for now, because that looks great. So let's go back into this mode here. And let's give the floor some texture. So we're going to click New. Going to select, again, wrong one. Where it says base color, we're going to go to Image Texture. As you can see, it's shaded black. You might even like this one. You might keep it like it. It's up to you. Click Open. Go to Hard Drive E. And what have we got here? Weathered planks. Select all. Oh, look, they're massive. It's tiny. this is tiny compared to this. What do we do? Well, we go to shading. And remember what I taught you before? We go to search, texture coordinates. I'm going to put that over here. Then we're going to get mapping. Connect vector to vector, UV to vector. And here's where the fun begins. So we can scale up and down the size. And rotation if you wish to rotate it, but I like to leave it straight. So let's go back into layout. And you can do this as well. So select your floor object, tab into edit mode, and subdivide. Again, like I said in my previous video, the more subdivisions, the better with certain things. So now that's subdivided to buggery. We are now going to press A, which selects the whole damn thing. Or you can do that, but A's better, because if you do this, as you can see there's little black marks where you haven't selected and whatnot. It's just better to do this. And we're going to go to modifiers, add modifier, search, displace, or type it in if it's not there. As you can see, no matter what I did there, it did nothing. So let's do that again. Displace. Now let's go into rendered mode. When you tab out, it does this. So because you've messed with the strength, you're going to think, oh god, I've broken Blender. So bring it down. Bring it down until it starts forming the shape. And obviously, it's going to do some very questionable stuff like this. So you just need to play around until it stops freaking out. So about here, it starts to create indentation. So let's bring the camera down a bit and let this render. See, so it's still quite smooth, and so let's get rid of this displacement here, in case you're not happy with it, because I'm not. I'm pretty certain I'm forgetting something. Right, so here, remember what I taught you in the last video? Let's tab into edit mode, shall we? And go to sculpting. Now we want to click this viewport because we want to be able to follow these lines. Now, this is a manual way of doing it, and a lot of people prefer doing this. I definitely do. I'm going to select draw sharp, and then we're going to take the radius right down and the strength to about there. And just do a little test. It's going to be barely noticeable until you actually start finding something you're comfortable with. So let's do the radius again. It helps to select all. Here, see? Let's get that strength back up. You can tell it's working because things are moving here. See, because there's a lot of subdivisions, there's a lot going on. So you might not notice straight away. So let's up the strength even more. Really is a test to see how steady your hand is. And there we go, we have some sort of a crevice going on here. So obviously you've got all this lot to do, so you can take your time with it. I'm pretty certain in other YouTube tutorials as well, there's better ways of displacing. Like I actually tried to show you, but I've kind of forgotten. Obviously you can make the radius smaller so you can get in the cracks more. You can really focus on those, on the depth here. Or you can widen the radius, bring down the strength a bit, and actually indent the wood itself a bit. And then what you've got going on here, you can then make it bumpier, add bumps. And let me give you an example of why it's better to add more subdivisions. So let's go back into edit mode here. Now I'm going to A, and then subdivide again and again. Now bear in mind, the more you subdivide, the more your computer's going to have a heart attack. So we're going to tab back out. Let's make the radius small again. Keep the strength up a bit. Go over to more straight plane here. And then, oops, we want the digging one, yes. Right, let's up that strength a bit. Lower the radius right down. And then get a good view of these cracks to be. And then literally get cracking. Up that radius a tiny bit more, because that seems to be doing nothing here. You can visually see where you're going. You just have to get a grip through it. And then really bring those cracks in. And then obviously go over the edges roughly as well, just to, you know, you don't want every part looking the same. And you can almost see the squares here of the subdividers. So you need more going across this way to get more of a better depth going on here. So let's up that radius a bit more, strength, and up a bit, make a few bumps. Obviously you don't have to do this, but it just makes everything stand out. Let's do a big load of bumps over here. Yeah, there we go. Now let's go back into layout. God, that's an ugly bump, that one, isn't it? Let's get rid of that, actually. I don't like that. Back into layout. I'm not sure why sculpting's still up. There we go. Render. And there we go. There's the light right there. There it is in all its glory. Obviously, let's unhide the area, select it. And let's play around with some height and location. So obviously you can change the location of the lights and everything. Point to where it goes. Aim it in different directions. Increase the power. The possibilities are endless. Oh look, sunshine. That's a bit too bright, isn't it? And I suppose what you could do is, as well, is get rid of that sun. Come out, and then get another light. Select sun. Bring it into the light almost. And there you go, you've got more of a sunlight thing going on here. Strength. But it's going to be more intense, obviously, than, say, like spotlight, point light, or area. But if you want to really light up a room or something, pretend this is a shed or something, it would light up all the areas and tick all the boxes. But yeah, I'm going to stop here now because I'm going on to many other subjects, and I'm going to get tempted to draft off. So yeah, this is the rendered view. It renders pretty quick because there's nothing here, basically. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I hope you can take what I've taught you and put it to the test. Obviously, I'm going to do more research and actually write stuff down and go off a list of what to say instead of winging it, because I am literally doing this from memory. Unless you guys prefer that. It's all about feedback at the end of the day, so I'd appreciate anything like that. Yes, that brings it to a wrap, because I now have to do the washing up that I've left until very late. Right, so there's the light tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Again, I plan on uploading more of these tutorials as we go, so I can help people out who are in my position. I am extremely forgetful, so I started using Blender again today for the first time in like 6 or 7 months, and I spent all day today watching and relearning basically 50-60% of what I already know. So it's fun. I need more RAM, IRL. But yes, thanks a lot for watching and take care. I'll see you in the next one.